Hey, hello, what's up everyone? Welcome back to Fire Emblem Thracia, Fire Emblem 5, 776, Negative Growth. Mekkah here, gonna playing a relaxing chapter along with Raisins, who's also relaxing. How are you doing?
Quite well. We're out of Master Arc, so I'm really sad. No, but I'm kidding. You're right. The next portion of the game is has slightly less time pressure than the Master Arc. We have probably a chill couple chapters ahead of us. And we finally get battle preps for the first time ever. Look at this. It's the Thracia preps menu.
I know, right? The first part I like is that it shows the entire map in advance, so like I can use it for intros if I want to. Like I did in FE6. But FE5 preps are actually really nice for, you know, the time that they were made in. Lots of like quality of life here. Versus of course like who you can deploy and who you like leave on the bench. But there's also an armory that you can buy stuff at if you wanted to. So like, you can sell your items here, unlike in FE6 hard mode, to just collect gold, which I've done for most of our superfluous items. There's some things left in my convoy, but generally, if it wasn't a great thing, I've probably sold it. So there's that. You can buy iron weapons if you want. Items in Thracia are notoriously expensive, which is why it's generally better to capture things rather than trying to buy them in this armory. But I have every once in a while bought like an iron axe here to help on an axe unit going for a little bit. Something else I want to highlight about the Thracia preps, like everything else kind of speaks for itself, but there's one thing that doesn't, and that's deployments and deployments order, deployments formation. You might remember like GBA and onwards, basically, you can arrange where units are on the map at the start, and you cannot really do that in vanilla Thracia. It's not possible. You can rearrange your units in the starting deployments, like for example right here, Shiva is in the last slot here, and Karen is in this one. If I were to like undeploy Karen, for example, and deploy Dulcin, then Nana and Shiva would go to different spots. Like for example, you can see that Shiva right now is over here. He was like at the back at first, I believe. So you can kind of manipulate it like that, but you can't do it super well. Like there's some issues with it.
Yeah, it doesn't even like show the units on the map to begin with, right? So like you have to start the chapter to see where they ended up.
Yeah, that is true for vanilla, but here it does show them on the map because this patch is awesome and it has different options for the deployments. Right now it's on 1 display units. This is the option it is in vanilla Thracia default, which means they're not on the map. You do have to refresh the map real quick to make it happen, but this is how it normally looks. Like the units are just not there. So in order to find out where everyone is deployed, you have to actually start the map, and if you don't like it, reset it and, you know, fiddle with the deployment configuration until there's something you like. But for example, if I wanted like Hicks in a slot that wasn't the last slot, I'd be shit out of luck because there's no way to get Hicks further up ahead in the deployment order with this option, but this lets you. And in addition, if you really wanted to, I can show something else. If you put it on option 2 instead, which is called rearrange units, what you can actually do is, well, like it says, like in GBA, you can rearrange your units. So for example, if I wanted Shiva to be in the front line, I can grab him, or I should be able to grab him.
Just move him.
Yeah, with the Y button in my case. That's probably a great button. And you just switch him with Orsin, kind of like you're used to with the GBA options. Now, this is not available in vanilla Thracia, so I'm not going to reuse it really. But if you don't play Thracia because of quality of life stuff like this, that you just really can't play without, and you really, really want it, then, you know, this patch is an option for you to change that. I don't recommend it for the full Thracia experience, but if that's how you like it, you know, this patch is an option for you. But I'm going to set it back to what it was, which is 1, which is just, you know, show me where they are, and then if I want to change it, I'll just deploy and undeploy units until it is the way I want it to be.
Yeah, because I can imagine option 2, I think, could create some unit configurations that are not possible with vanilla Thracia.
Exactly. So I would be able to configure to put Hicks wherever I want, when in reality he can only go in specific spots because he's last in deployment order.
That makes sense. A nice in between the, you know, authentic experience, as you say.
Alright, I'll hit the start button. We can get going. A couple extra things will appear on the map that we should be excited about. First one is Carrion over here, new unit recruitments. So boy, I think actually his name is Kellion now, because apparently Carrion is also synonymous for decaying corpse or something, if I recall.
It's synonymous for like buzzards and like scavenger birds and whatnot.
Oh, I see. I was gonna say, because in the context of like vanilla playthroughs, Carrion would be about the opposite of a decaying corpse, but I think it's very apt for negative growth for him to be called a decaying corpse, looking at his bases and growths.
I was actually wrong. You were right about that one. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Do you think I'm also right about his utility in negative growths and his normal utility?
I mean, in negative growth, I think he would decay pretty quick. Is that if that's what you were going for?
Yes, that was what I was going for.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty apt name. Of course, in vanilla, you're absolutely right. These are actually really good base stats for a level 1 unit. Like, you know, other RPG games might look at them and be like, these are kind of trash. But I've seen, like, most stats are above 5, man. Like, that's kind of good, don't you think? You know, stack this man up with a few scrolls and use the FCM4, you should be good to go. He also does support with a lot of good units. I know, of course, Leif gives him a support. Leif gives everyone a support, I'm pretty sure. But there's also a kind of, like, company of units that he joins with later. And a couple of them are pretty good. And I think a few of them do support him as well. I'm going to look up his support list now.
Good idea. Because I think, I do know he gets a support from Leif, which helps him with that FCM. FCM is kind of like with Fergus, it gets him 40 extra crit on the second attack, which is actually pretty good. So that's like a good setup for a character to like crit a lot. Of course, he is using like lances and swords with low weapon ranks, so finding weapons to stack that crit with is not as easy as it is with, say, Fergus, but you can get there. The big issue with Kellyan for me is those weapon ranks in like a vanilla context. There's a kind of an issue. It does have like an interesting class of Cavalier. Like most of the knights we've seen so far have been like Finn and Brighton and Fergus, where they have like one weapon and they kind of stuck with it, and he just kind of has two. But that's probably why they split his weapon XP up a bit like this, like 40 lances, 30 lances.
One Vigor Star.
Yeah, and one Vigor Star, which, I mean, those are always funny when you activate, but you never know when they're going to activate. So it's just like, it's a nice cherry on top, but it doesn't really carry a character very far. I do agree that these bases are good for a level 1 character. We're not really in Chapter 1 anymore, though, so he would have to be somewhat competent base to get going, which isn't always easy, but if you want Carrion to get going, he definitely can do so. It takes a couple level ups before he becomes really, really good, stat-wise. And then you lose some stats. He's like kind of a bad indoor unit, I think, because his move will go down to 1, or go down to 5, and that's not great. But he's perfectly serviceable if you want to be a bit patient and raise him. I just don't think he's a very efficient unit, but he's a very fun zero to hero kind of unit that I really enjoy using.
Oh yeah,
on an off
totally, definitely the guy to scroll stack up. How do you feel like how do you evaluate the whole ability to use 2 weapons things? Because I understand like weapon triangle is not that great in Thracia, but there are also some really cool utility weapons you can use. Like sure, the Brave Lance isn't among them because he's not Finn. But like, is there any extra utility that he offers by being able to use both lances and swords, or is it just kind of like not really matter because he's just going to be using one or the other?
I would much rather he specialize in one weapon type and then have like, some kind of good personal weapon, if that makes sense, than him having like access to 2 types. Because like you said, the weapon triangle doesn't matter much and his ranks are low. So even though he can use both swords and lances, he cannot really feasibly use both good swords and lances. Like he's never going to be able to use the Brave Sword for a long time. And if he is, that's probably because he's fully focusing on swords and never using lances, right? So he'll never be able to use, say, Kill Lance probably at the same time. And I've never tried giving him like really good weapons because it's such a pain to raise weapon ranks. I find that Carrion, once he's been raised, he's actually fine using almost any weapon because his crit is so good and his stats get so bungas with his insane growth that it doesn't really matter what you give him very much. He's just a good ball of stats at that point. And so it doesn't really matter what he's using as long as he's raised. Like his stats are almost more important than everything else, I think. So I don't really care about it very much. Like if you look at the Steel Lance, for example, right, this is a pretty shitty weapon. You don't really care if you can use this, and the same goes for most weapon types. So really, generally, Kellyan is fine. There's one sword that he gets later on, the Paragon Sword. It's not exclusively for him, but he can use it, and it's clearly intended to be something he uses because it's an E-rank sword that helps him solve his problem. It doubles his XP gain and increases his defense, but anyone can use it. That's why the sword is so good. That weapon is very, very good and very helpful if you want to raise Kellyan. But because anyone can use it, I don't really consider it a big pro of Kellyan himself. I guess it's good that he can use it while being mounted. Someone like Finn cannot do that, so I guess that's a nice plus.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, yeah, but in particular, I think lances are not very useful in Kellyan. I don't think I would ever use one. Like the Steel Lance is going to the armory to be traded for door keys. I can tell you that much right now.
Right away.
Yeah.
Do we like pack an extra like sword on somebody to trade over to Kellyan or no?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why Leif has an extra sword on him actually.
Okay.
What I'm going to do first is move Leif up a little bit. And he's going to give... Let's see, I have an axe for someone and I have a sword for Kellyan. That axe is going to be for the Marty party, which is restarting today. Fortunately, we did not arm Marty, so he's going to do something funny on enemy phase. And then most of the chapter is going to be centered around fighting and capturing this boss. He's the guiding requirement. So if we can capture him, we go to 8x where we will meet Dagda and Tanya again. But I think if you take too long, like turn 14 or 15, I believe he gets on his Draco Knight, he mounts, and at that point it's no longer possible to capture him. And so you've effectively failed the guidance. So it's really beat this chapter in 15 turns, kind of, or kill boss.
Yeah, there's some pressure here.
Yeah. And that's just going to be a giant pain in the ass. So I want to be sort of fast about doing this, which is why I'm not going to be grinding Kalyan up. If it's not, if it wasn't already obvious by his growth that I'm not going to be grinding him up. Instead, what I'm going to do is put Orsin in his forest over here with the Puji. I think that will let him eradicate this group of enemies. I'll put him a little further so he can kill them, all of them. Maybe even, this should be fine. And then we'll
without the boost from the forest, he should be able to do it.
Yeah, especially because we're going to put Nana in range as well. Leaf forward. Get this over here. Might as well give him the axe so that Leif is no longer occupied with that. And these are thickets, so they can't really get through here. They can't get to Kellyan. I'm going to use the life ring on Safi because of fatigue. I guess we haven't really explained fatigue. That was probably something we should have done. Would you mind explaining fatigue?
Yeah.
Well,
yes, so every time a unit does a combat action, uses a staff, or steals, I think those are the three things that can do it, they gain a point of fatigue.
Yeah.
And this fatigue sticks with them until you do a chapter with preps menu and you don't deploy them. Which, this is the first time we've been able to do this so far. And I think units who probably got fatigued would have been units like Asbel, Fergus, Brighton got fatigued.
Yeah, roughly those. Laura as well.
That's right. Laura as well. For sure. So those units got fatigued, and so by the time we go to the next map, they've lost it all. But if we look at some of our units here, like Finn, Finn would have some fatigue. Karen would have some fatigue. I don't know if Shiva would have some, but Finn and Karen definitely have some fatigue on them. Next time it's player phase, we can check.
Yeah.
Anyway, what does fatigue do? I'm sure you're all asking. Is anytime you're in preps menu, if their fatigue is at or exceeds their current HP, or maybe it's just if it exceeds.
I think it has to exceed.
Max HP.
But actually, Laura might. I think Laura is also. Yeah, whatever. We can check that at some point. But the point is clear, right?
Yeah, if it exceeds their HP, you cannot deploy them for that map. They have to sit out. So, yeah. Again, I wish we kind of showed it off in preps, but we'll probably be able to show it off in the next chapter. It might be Finn.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, it's already a pretty long intro, so I was like, let's just get going with the map. But yeah, for example, you can see Karen right now is 3 fatigue. I think a good way to remember where you get fatigued is basically, I think if an action gives you experience, then it can also give you fatigue. That's kind of the way I like to think about it.
There you go. That makes sense.
Yeah, and so Finn is almost fatigued at 20. It doesn't affect his combat performance in this chapter like it would in like Shadows of Valentia, for example, where fatigue actually impacts you. But it does make it hard to deploy a unit sometimes, especially if they have low HP, which is why I gave a life ring to Safi, so that she would no longer have that problem, or at least not as badly. I gave her even though Safi never sees combat until she's promoted, and even then probably not, it's just nice because staves give an extra amount of fatigue relatively to combat. Like every point of combat, every round of combat is 1 point of fatigue, but I think staves, depending on what level they are, they can give you like multiple points. So that's really awkward.
I had no idea. I thought it was always 1.
The hammer and the warp especially are very daunting, and both of those are staves that Safi uses regularly. So that's why we're doing it like this. You bring your axe forward. So hopefully I'll be able to like eat some damage with someone so that Safi can heal it, because I really want her to get to level 10 ASAP. That's why I gave her Paragon, so we can get the warp staff. Yeah. So maybe Orsin can be nice and get hit here. Honestly, I shouldn't be kind of put Nana's range if I wanted to get hit. That's my B, but I'm sure someone will get poisoned at some point. Yeah, every enemy in this chapter I think has a poison weapon besides the boss, so I'm sure we'll eat a poison at some point. I ferried Shiva over here so I can like take out this this village without having to bother with anyone else going all the way around. I don't really need that many combat units. I just need Orsin basically, so this is a pretty efficient way of going about it. Here, and you get victory music. That's it.
Right away. Yeah, I was wondering, like when we started the map, I was like, this seems like the wrong soundtrack for this map. Am I just misremembering?
Yeah, it's like the "You're in Trouble" soundtrack, and instead you get this.
The victory mode soundtrack, pretty quick.
We'll bait this warrior with Orsin. I'll just use an Iron Axe on purpose so that he doesn't counterattack him right away, because we might be able to feed him to Marty somehow. And we need to grab Marty as well. Which I guess is something Orsin could have done. can also grab him by capturing him, but I don't want to hold on to him. I want to train him this map. So maybe Orsin just run back and grab Marty next turn, and then we can kill the boss like that. Maybe that's the best way to go about it.
We need to dislodge this guy in the armory, though, right? Or...
Yeah, I mean, sorta. Do we need to? He's not gonna move.
He's not gonna. Oh, that's the issue.
Well, we don't really care about the armory itself. I guess. Oh, you mean this shop? Don't you mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah.
Oh wait, the shop?
Yeah,
I guess
that's where the keys are coming from.
Yeah.
So go here.
I was thinking the funny thing, but sure.
Oh, the funny thing is also important. Yeah, that's true. I'll see if I can get rid of the guy in the shop. That's probably worth doing. Yeah. Question is, can I do it fast enough while still, you know, fulfilling the guy objective? But we'll see.
Dude, Orsin's too good. He keeps taunting.
Yeah, he's doing the thing that I don't want him to do. I can't really kill this guy easily, but I'm sure... Oh, Finn is bad enough to not kill him, so I guess we can go for that. Let me grab Marty back real quick. Actually, no, let's not grab Marty back real quick. Let's go for the funny thing first. Javelin, I guess, a couple times. Let me get Finn.
10 AS with a javelin? Goodness.
Let's see
if
it's
just that good.
I guess so, but he's only doing 7 damage, so let's see if this crits or not. Oh, that's so far no good. No good. I guess we can like...
It's a bad omen for the boss fight.
We can poogie him, that's fine. I guess Nana with the Earth Sword is not enough. Okay, just whatever, just poogie him into the face.
Yeah, it feels nice to be able to use like Finn and Nana with Abandon here, because last time we did actually have to play around.
Thank you.
There you go. Good old FCM. Because last time we did really have to play around the fatigue mechanic.
No! Stop getting so bad. What did I even expect from fighting a guy like that? Okay, how much speed does this guy have? 11. Oh, jeez, this guy's fast. Okay, let me feed him. Let me feed him. Yeah, let me feed him. I'm gonna leave my thief real quick. Okay, no capturing Safi. Only capturing Lithis. Scroll doesn't matter. Nana closer for next turn. And Shiva might be helpful here. I'm not just drop Shiva here, actually. Kill this next bandit. And go up here. Oh, we can use...
You're not going to Kanto glitch.
We need to get the thing. I don't think Kanto glitch is in this game, actually. It's like they fixed it while going back in time.
They fixed it, yeah. It just didn't arise in the first place. I saw your inputs, I was like, oh no, Kanto glitch.
Get hit. Come on, guys. Just get poisoned. It's not that hard. I usually have to like deal with getting poisoned so much in this chapter.
Yeah, there was like 4 or 5 of us getting poisoned right now. Let's go.
Thanks, Marty.
Marty needed a weapon, buy his hand axe.
Marty was trying so hard to get into that armory that, but the other guy was in the way. But now he bought a hand axe, and I think he did it with his own money. I actually didn't keep track of my own money, but I think he did it with his own pocket change.
Yeah,
very nice
we started with 7,900 for sure.
Ah, nice.
Because we would have had like 8,000 something cash, but we didn't.
All right, now we can recruit him. Run for the hills. Okay, we get the party boy back, and we can hand axe this warrior. I think he probably still has the bow equipped, and just like 10 damage though if he hits us. Let's see if we can get something here. Yeah, that's right. We actually want to get hit. I guess we can like chip him with Kallion first, because Finn has a chance to crit. But if he doesn't crit, it's really good. Oh, he actually quadruples. Jeez, calm down, Finn. Okay, let's try this, I guess. Do like 8 times 2.
Times 2, 16. It's a good start.
Especially with yeah. Could have been.
Could have been better. Do we need to get them over to the boss or no?
Kind of, but like first Leif needs to do something there, so he's not in a hurry. Let me try this, I guess. It's gonna run away with Leif actually, yeah. So we need to like make sure he doesn't get to do that.
It's like kind of urgent.
Yeah, he's not gonna like getting away this turn, right? So
can we like intercept with Shiva and Karen or no?
Yeah, like they can block. He's also like half this movement because Leif is too thick apparently. So we have a bit more time than it might seem. This is also a significant chunk of damage. It's gonna do a good job equipping a bow.
Maybe Marty can come in and finish off now.
Yeah, does Marty do enough damage though? Marty.
Wow.
Looks about right. That's damage.
9 damage.
Alright, toss it his way, Marty.
We gotta do it.
He's also gonna fight this brigand on enemy face, which is also good. Okay, we might get poisoned at last. Alright, Marty, be the hero.
We believe.
Yay!
We believe.
Get partied on. Excellent.
Oh my goodness.
Ah, full level. Beautiful, beautiful.
Was he at 0 XP because his XP gets rounded down, or is that just what he was at?
I don't know. All I know is he got slimmer. Yeah,
There we go. He lost con
27
again.
HP. Alright, Lithus, continue onwards. And Marty will just fight this guy. I really hope he actually ends up getting hit here, because Safi has had nothing to do, and I really need her to get something done here. Karen got
By the way,
Upping.
people looking at that 53 hit rate on Marty against that guy. Don't forget, that was with Nana.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, trade away your things for a moment and buy some keys. Because door keys, you probably heard if you like read any guide on Thracia, you want to buy door keys at some point. This is the perfect chapter to do it. Shop is right there. Just get
all 7.
I think all 7. Yeah, you actually can't buy more than what you like inventory space you have, because there's no option to send to Murners or anything like that. So once you have 7 door keys, that's it. That's all the space you got.
Oh wow.
That's all you get.
Yeah.
But we can
I don't
use
think I've ever
carry-on
had the money
more.
to buy 7 things in Thracia. Like
I know, right? It's got to be deliberate with spending and selling.
all right.
And by deliberate, I mean
believe.
just do it a lot. All right, get
Please
hit.
poison us.
Get hit. Oh,
No.
come on.
No. He didn't
Oh.
even get doubled.
We tried. I mean, there's still a chance. We can still get hit. I believe in you, Marty. Just get hit. Just get hit. I trust in you. Come on. Yes. Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Okay, Safi, you have a job now. Let's go.
Safi enabled.
Here we go. Get that juicy animation. The other time
can
pressure
heal
that this
Marty.
map has is that what's it called? There are reinforcements like the one that came from the upper left earlier, and there's gonna be so many of them. Oh come on, gang!
Oh,
Don't be
come
so
on,
mean.
no. There's like some from the top center too, right?
Yeah, they're gonna come here and they're gonna be like annoying to Marty, and everyone else kind of wants to file out. I guess I can leave Shiva here because he's not super useful against the boss. So I guess that's something I can do to repair it. Let's go like
He can
here.
unlock those bandits.
Yeah, go here. Get his things back. There you go. Don't know exactly what I'm going to do with the lock ring yet, but I do not want Karen over here for rescue utility. This bandit, I'm going to keep him away from Leif for a moment with my trusty Finn. Javelin, sure. Go over here, I think. Just keep him away. This Finn has
Do
to
we
be
need
the
to
one
do a
who
steel
catches the
plate
boss.
yet, or how far can the brigand move, or can we do the steel plate now?
No, we can
Yeah,
do
that's
it
pretty
now,
far. Never mind.
but we kind of, yeah.
We could do a take drop with Nana or Callion though, or even just block off.
Yeah.
What are we intending to do with Lithus? Just curious.
So I'll just... So the idea is twofold, actually. I kind of want to do it on a turn where I know I'm going to be doing it. Or kind of like explain it on a turn where I know I'm going to be doing it. I'm just going to put Finn here for now and just block him off. It's not a big threat or anything. Yeah, I'll show it off next turn. But trust me, it'll be worth your time. This is the whole reason why we have Lithus here, is this boss right here.
Keep your secrets.
Yeah, I won't be for long, trust me. It's a let's play, not a let's keep.
True. Oh, true.
Come on, you got this. Don't want to use the Brave Lance on this clown.
Bonk.
Although it might have been good. I don't know. New here.
Even like, I mean, this is still like kind of doo-doo Finn, but I'm actually kind of shocked how good he is promoted. Like, damn,
Yeah.
I need to promote him more.
Yeah, he's a basis unit, alright. He's not a growth unit. Okay, I'm gonna turn off these animations and heal Marty again before I forget. And ideally, I want Safi to like heal so much that she's barely deployable next chapter. That really doesn't matter. Although I hope Marty doesn't die, but other than that, she'll be fine. Go over here, I guess. I need Orsin over here. And so there's two things I want Leif to do. One of them is steal this vulnerary because my Finn, I mean, like you said it very properly, he's very doo-doo right now. I need to capture this guy, and the best person to do it with is usually Finn. If it wasn't for negative growth, like reducing my strength by like 2 or 3 points by this point, I would do a bit more damage than this, but this is the reality we live in. I'm doing 2 damage per hit, and I'm not doubling, so I need to get him down to like 4 HP to have a chance of capturing him. Barring crits, of course. I can definitely crit him. The drawback is that, of course, I can also weaken him by Brave Lancing normally, but then I'm doing 6 times 4, which is 24, and I have a chance to crit and just kill him when I'm not capturing. So it's very difficult to wear him down. Like there's all kinds of chances for him to die, which is where my auto strategy comes in. But first I'll just take the Vuln, I suppose. But there's like some other thing I might want to do. Let's take the Vaughn. Everything else will be mine anyway, so I don't have to worry about stealing the Master Seal, for instance. Just take him away. And I guess just javelin this guy. Get him out of here.
I'm like awful not a hurry. I think I've just been scarred by one too many bad attempts.
Yeah.
On this is like, bro, get to work.
I mean, the work is on the way. Actually, should have dropped him closer because I think no. Actually, Orsin can reach next turn. It's fine. Let's get in here. Marty might have to borrow a Vaughn off of Shiva at this rate. But that's okay. I can like hand axe at range now. I don't even have to get hit by this guy anymore, so I can just like do this. He's not gonna move.
He just always sits still.
I think he always sits still. If not, Safi is kind of. But then we can like capture the guy with Marty.
Yeah. Well, we can try. We can run Callian back maybe. So.
There is always a way. I think Marty's actually like so slim right now that he can get captured by the enemy brigands if he's weaponless. So we can capture bait with Marty if we really want to. Okay, heal here.
What a world we live in.
It's a strange world. Okay, we can even kill the guy because like we're poisoned, so we don't need to heal anymore. Goodbye.
Nice.
Nice. 1.5 level Marty. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, so what I can do now, which is very stupid and very funny, is I can use a thief to give him my scroll so that I cannot accidentally crit the guy anymore. This has advantages and disadvantages. The advantage is that I cannot accidentally kill him anymore. The disadvantage is that I can't cheese him with Finn crits with the Brave Lance. Because one cool way could be to, you know, just get a crit here. Like a crit here, for example, would be 16 times 2 is 32, minus 14 is 18 damage, so that's pretty good.
It would be perfect lethal if you got double crits, but
yeah,
you know, that's not very likely.
But for example, Nana and Leif can wear him down quite nicely with the Light Brand and Earth Sword. But if Nana can crit, for example, right here, actually she wouldn't kill with the crit, so it wouldn't be terrible to try here. But imagine if he's on lower HP, it can be very dangerous. So I guess just like try this, see if it crits, and if not, we can give him the scroll and go from there.
I think so, yeah. It seems pretty good.
All right.
Giving him the scroll definitely makes sense because then you can like more mathematically chip him down. For sure. And we're gonna miss anyway.
Oh wow, that's so good. Ooh,
actually, or we just get it. Okay.
Yeah, we just get the crit like that. Okay, my whole plan, because like the other part of my plan was like, okay, I can put Orsin in front of him and use the Vouge to Wrath crit him. Because if you recall, scrolls can block non-Wrath crits, but they cannot block Wrath crits. So it's an easy way to get a critical hit on him with like 32 attack. But then
after all this, you just get the shitter crit, and yeah.
I mean, these kind of things only work out when you don't plan for them right. So
yeah.
Now definitely don't like, just capture him. Just go for it.
All of this definitely makes sense, though. I was wondering why you were, you know, so casual about this whole capturing LeMay thing. I was like, isn't this like, you know, take a lot of RNG?
It is. It's honestly one of the most annoying bosses to capture in Thracia, or like periods. Like one of the most annoying objectives to deal with in all Thracia. I just wanted to show off a couple ways to make it easier, and this is one of them. I definitely recommend, even if you're not wanting to do the scroll thing, I definitely do recommend stealing his Vaughn, because imagine if Nana hadn't crit, he like got worn down a bit. We can infer it with like the Light Brand, he gets down to like say 10 HP. And then if Finn doesn't capture him that turn, he's just going to use the Vaughn and heal up. So that's why I really recommend having at least Laura or Leif available to steal the Vaughn and make that impossible. It's a really nice way to do that.
So do we want to continue the Marty and Laura party for a bit, or are we getting out the map?
I'm wondering about it, because I kind of don't want to fight all these brigands over and over. It's really annoying if they keep hitting me, but at the same time, I mean, I guess she can get someone poisoned next chapter as well and just get fatigued in 88x. That wouldn't be terrible.
Because I think you said you don't want her for 9, right?
Oh, I need to get this village at the very least before I forget.
Oh, true. Oh,
yeah, I don't want her for 9. That much is certainly true.
And next map has fewer reinforcements, I think, right? Because you can just get rid of all the reinforcements.
It has no reinforcements in that one.
Even better then, I think.
So,
that map's better.
It's also pretty easy to get someone poisoned there, and there's another long boss fight at the end where heal abuse is pretty likely. So I might just end it here, honestly. Just retake his stuff.
I think that's pretty wise.
In here and seize, and I'll make like a safe state in case like the next chapter doesn't work out somehow, because because like if I could use Safi here, I could do the same thing, but whatever. We'll just keep it clean and seize here. You got all the boss's stuff, including another Master Seal we can use, which is super nice. Marty is level 6.5.
What was the item from the center village?
So this is a Master Seal, I think. Yeah, so we have 2 extra now. And we got
Even
a
more
as well.
They just hand them out.
Yeah.
Did they ever slow down with that or no?
Slow down with what? Master Seals? Yeah, this is the biggest like spurt you get. Like getting 3 easy ones in 2 chapters. There's like some later chapters that you get technically, but they're hard to get. Like there's like you might recall the map where your old one died in your Iron Man, chapter 13.
Oh, stop it.
I'm glad you gave me an excuse to bring that up. The chapter where my Ronan died in my Iron Man. Let me just even it out real quick. The escape chapter with Glade. That's the one with the flunkies.
Yes.
There's like a house on there with a bishop on top of it with a bolting tome. And in that house is a Master Seal, but only Karen can get there. She's still your only flyer by that point. So it's really tough to get that Master Seal while you're trying to escape from all the massive reinforcements and everything. So there's Master Seals like that are just really hard to get. So I'm glad to have a switch to this. I'm still not sure if I'm promoting Asbel or not, by the way. Still not sure. Same for Orsin. We'll never be sure. All right,
we'll make that decision when we get to level 10, maybe, I guess.
Exactly. We'll play it by ear. But yeah, you gotta capture the boss, so he tells you, like, hey, we need to go inside the villa to get Dagdar and Tanya back in action. I will say last thing, I don't think I mentioned this yet, but if you unlock the guidance requirements, like if you do what I just did, capturing the boss, keeping him alive, don't release him, but you got Tanya killed previously, I think killed is enough, might be capturing too. If you do that, then you get Dagdar here without having to play 8x. Now, 8x is optional, and sometimes I might be tempted to skip guidance to avoid experience, but in this case I think 8x is worth playing because there's a lot of good treasure, including the leg ring, which is the boots basically, the Wrath Scroll, some sellables like the Devil Axe, and that's basically it though. Those are the most important treasures, so that's why I'm playing this chapter, but I'm aware of the idea that you can skip it, and I think skipping it is sometimes viable, but for this playthrough I think it's worth getting the leg ring and the Wrath manual.
Sure, yeah, those sound like good moves.
We'll see if they pay off, and we'll see that next time in Chapter 8X. Peace.
I look forward to it. See you guys next time.